Hey guys, so we have a hint as to part 2 for the Legends 6th anniversary here. This is pretty significant, I would say, just because we didn't, I believe, get a hint for part 2 of Legends Fest, which was the Goku and Bardock banner. We also, at this point, have not seen any sort of like preview for a Legends original event. Remember, for Goku and Bardock, we did get a Legends original story event. I believe it was like 4 or 5 days before the banner dropped, so we actually had a lot of time to play through like the preview of the event first, which is not the case now, but we are getting a hint here. Now, I would say 98% of the time the hint does not allude to the main character, so whatever the LF is going to be, it is not probably whatever this is referencing. This is probably going to either be more so for the 1% sparking character, or if the banner has EXs on it, it could potentially be for one of the EXs. So this appears to be either a coffee filter or a tea filter. I am leaning more towards this being a coffee filter as opposed to a tea filter, just because this, in my eyes, more so fits a coffee filter. I actually did pull up 2 reference images. This is a tea filter, and then this is a coffee filter. I'm by no means an expert on this. I just was looking through some of the images that I found. I mean, I do drink a lot of tea, but I'm not like an expert on this stuff. This is the coffee filter, which again, I think more looks like this. I would imagine you could probably have a tea filter that looks like this, but I think it's more common to filter directly like through the beans like this for coffee, as opposed to tea where you need like the tea leaf sediment. So if I was going to pick between coffee and tea, this to me looks more like it would be coffee, especially given the color. But I guess this could also be like black tea or something like that. So again, it could be either one. But to me, this makes more sense as coffee, which actually does mean something. So I was kind of trying to think about what this could mean. To me, this is probably one of the more ambiguous hints that we've ever gotten. There are 2 things about this. The first thing is the coffee or tea dripping down and being filtered down here. And it's just the visual representation of something falling down like this. And then the second thing is like separating something from something else is the whole purpose of this, right? You're separating like the coffee beans from the actual coffee itself, or you're separating the tea leaf sediment from the actual tea itself. So that could be interesting. I mean, if we're talking about something like a Fat Boo and a Evil Boo separating from each other, or we're talking about like a Kami and a Demon King Piccolo separating from each other, I guess that could be something that this is referencing. I pulled up a few images here. I've seen some people posting this around. This is a screenshot from OG Dragon Ball when Bulma is making some coffee. Kid Goku's I mean, I don't actually remember this scene too well, but this actually does happen in OG Dragon Ball. So Bulma does make coffee, and coffee does make an appearance in OG Dragon Ball, which, I mean, we did just get the free-to-play Bulma, so maybe something to do with that, but I would doubt it because this is not like a very significant scene. Then we have this scene from GT where Pan is drinking coffee, which, again, I don't really think is super important in reference to this specific hint in this image here, but it is something to do with coffee, so I included it. This is interesting to me. This is a scene from when Super Boo is sort of waiting for like Trunks and Goten to become ready to fight, and he's looking at his hourglass. I think just the overall aesthetic of the sand falling down in the hourglass is very similar to like coffee dripping down when it's being filtered, or tea being filtered. So this actually could be what this is for. So potentially something to do with Super Boo. Maybe we're gonna get like an LF Buhan or something like that. I'm not sure. But and then we of course have Zamasu, which I think is what most people are thinking this could be. The reason why I talked about the coffee versus tea thing in the beginning of this video is because specifically Zamasu is making tea, right? This is not coffee, this is tea, and we never see him do like any sort of filtration for tea. Every time we see Zamasu making tea, he's always just mixing in the tea. He's not actually filtering anything into it. So that's why I am not sure if this is going to be Zamasu or not. I think the reason why a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Zamasu is because we have gotten some hints towards potentially part 2 being future themed with Vegito Blue's unique equipment and Fusion Zamasu's Zenkai Awakening. So this was kind of like a leading question almost, where we're going to get a hint, and you know, it probably would fit in line with the hints that we've gotten earlier. So that's why I think people are thinking this is going to be Zamasu, but again, I don't know, other than the fact that this is a beverage. I don't really draw a huge parallel with Zamasu making tea in the Goku Black arc with this hint at all. So we'll see. I don't really have any definitive answer as to what this is. Again, I think it can be referencing two things being separated from each other. I think it can reference just like the visual, you know, drip of the coffee down into like the bottom here, getting filtered out. We could scroll through some of the replies on here, but well, we're not going to do that. I was looking at the Japan post from the Japanese Legends account and looking through some of the Japanese replies there. I mean, there are people saying it could be Oob, like Majub. I personally don't see that here. I don't see a reference to Majub. I mean, it could be sort of like a reference to what I was talking about earlier, where it's separation between one thing and another thing. So maybe it's like Kid Buu being reborn into someone. I don't know. I don't think this is referencing Majub. I've actually seen some people saying Candy Vegito, which would be funny, but I don't. No, I don't think this is going to be Candy Vegito. It's actually surprising. I've seen a lot of people talking about that on the Japan one. That could be an interesting April Fool's character, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. Certainly the most guessed character for sure is Zamasu, which makes sense because it does fit in with the LF Zamasu Zenkai and the Vegito equipment. But other than that, I don't know. We'll see. If you guys have any thoughts on this that are different from what I've been talking about, let me know. I mean, this is one of the first hints where it's like there could be a lot of different interpretations around this, and I think one of the reasons why is because we just don't like there's not a clear reference to what part 2 is going to be right now. Right? I think we've gotten hints for future. Obviously, I talked about that. We also have a free-to-play Bulma from the very first episode of Dragon Ball. And then we also, if we take a look at, because they did announce a reveal and stuff here. Where is it? Right here. 3 days until reveal and stuff. Post what your favorite parts of the 6th anniversary were. Blah 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 blah. And then they just posted this picture of Buhan. Like he's just here. Like I honestly don't even know why he's here. Like why is Buhan on this? This is a random image of Buhan on here. Like it's weird. So I don't know. Buhan is on here. We got a free-to-play Bulma, and we got some future buffs. It's a very strange, I guess, combination of different things they've been doing leading up to part 2. So it's very, very tough to say what exactly the theme of part 2 is going to be. But I'm not entirely sure what this is. I don't. I concede. It could be. I think this has the possibility of meaning many different things, and we can't really pinpoint one of them right now. So let me know what you guys think. And I will see you all in the next one.